Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Tailgate Talk here at sunjournal.com. Kalle, Randy Whitehouse. We're at a place, I think they still play football here.
They ought to play
the old LAP
here
football. At, yeah, absolutely. At Lewiston Middle School here in Lewiston. Today, breaking down Class A, Week 5. Class A. Crossed the midway point, and it's 75 degrees outside, so who knows what's going on.
First Gore does.
Absolutely. Oxford Hills at Edward Little, first matchup of the week this week. This one took on a little bit more of an interesting tone after last week and Yale's matchup last week.
That's kind of what it did last year when Oxford Hills won its game against Mount Ararat and went in, and everybody kind of expected a close game, and they got one and then some with 5 overtimes worth in the rain at Oxford Hills homecoming. A little different this year at Walton Field. EL's one of those teams that they come in 1-3 also to this game, but that's a deceiving 1-3. There's a couple of those games, especially last week at Coney, where they really feel like they left one on the table.
Yeah, Tevin Cologne was the hero of that 5 overtime game last year, except he was the quarterback then. He's a tailback now, and he had a big game last week against Coney. He's the centerpiece of their offense, and certainly Oxford Hills would like nothing more than to hold him back, and you know, they need to keep the score down. Their scoring options are limited, certainly. So, you know, if it's a defensive game, that certainly favors the Vikings.
Mount Blue at Bangor, next matchup here in Class A. Mount Blue on the way to Bangor, deceiving 3-0, 4-0 rather, or are we?
Mount Blue?
No, Bangor.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about Mount Blue because they lost last
No,
night.
I know that, but Bangor.
Right. No, Bangor's not a deceiving 4-0. They're the best team in the state, and I think Mount Blue certainly. You know, it would be an upset for them to win. It would have been an upset last year. They were in the game until the early 4th quarter in the playoffs. So I think certainly Mount Blue early in the season, they picked on some teams that were kind of their own size, and they stepped up in caliber last week against Lawrence and learned some things about themselves that they've got to correct this week. But certainly I think, again, we could have a game beyond the first half.
That question with Mount Blue is the health of Isaiah Tracy, who got hurt last week against Lawrence, and he's the focal point of their running game. Maybe it means more carries for Cam Senek. Maybe it means more throws for Jordan Whitney. If it means more throws for Jordan Whitney, he's got to be watching for Joe Secaricia kind of lurking around like a stork there in the secondary.
That's a good analogy.
He can't throw it over his head, that's for sure. So that should be a fun matchup. I can't wait to see it.
And the Blue Devils, who used to play their home games here at LAP, they travel down to Mount Ararat, and wow, that could be another one for the Devils. We could have a couple of 5-0 teams next week here if the Devils hold up their end of the bargain.
I would say they don't want to look ahead too much to Lawrence at home next week, but you know, having seen Mount Ararat at Oxford Hills last Saturday, I can say that, speaking of scoring options being limited, I would say Lewiston's just got to put some points on the board and play the defense they played all year. Oxford Hills pretty much shut the Eagles down.
I saw Lewiston last week against Brunswick, and so impressive. Their speed, I mean, they're about the fastest team that I've seen this year offensively with the 4 running backs, each one bringing something different to the table. Yeah, so many options. The one problem that I think Brunswick exposed last week was they ran it up the gut, even without Dylan Walton, pretty easily against Lewiston. Be interesting to see what kind of yardage Mount Ararat is able to put up this week, because that's something certainly that Lawrence will be able to exploit next week.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you all for joining us here at sunjournal.com/SJVarsity or sunjournal.com/tailgate talk. Wherever you got to us, we're glad that you did. Randy Whitehouse, Kalle, Justin Pelletier. See ya.